Hi, and welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and in this video, we're going to learn the 2 to 4 player game, Gut 5, designed by Joanne LeVay and published by Blue Orange, who helped sponsor this video. Here, you'll have 5 tiles with 5 unique numbers, and sure, you won't be able to see them, but you'll probably figure out what they are, right? Before the other players? Maybe. Nah, I believe in you. You've got this. So join me at the table and let's learn how to play. To set up, each player collects one of these screens, a game board, stand, and a erasable marker. Put your board behind your screen with its arrow pointing to your right, and ensure that your stand is in front of your screen with its arrow pointed the same way. These are the 60 double-sided tiles which come in 5 different colors. Each tile has a unique number from 1 to 60 on one of their sides, and you'll want to ensure they're all mixed into a face-down supply so that none of the players know what values they each represent. Without looking at the values, each player draws one tile of each color and sets it in front of their stand so the other players can see the numbers. Now each player has one of their opponents put their numbers into the slots of their stands, organized from the lowest value to the highest, so that the lowest value is by this negative symbol, all the way up to the highest value in ascending order, so that it's by this positive symbol. Now, the important thing is that during the game, you never see the values on your own tiles or say the values on your opponents. Also, in this video, we'll assume we have 2 players, so we'll return the other player pieces back to the box. Any player now flips one tile of each color face up near the supply where everyone can easily see them. Then each person uses their marker to cross out all the numbers showing on their board that they can see on their opponent's tiles, along with the 5 face-up ones near the supply. Assuming this is my board, then based on the numbers that I can see, these are the values I would have crossed out. And since there are no duplicate tiles, any numbers I see are numbers that I know cannot be on my own stand, while numbers I have not crossed out are ones that might be on my stand. And that's how I'll use this board during the game to help me deduce what numbers I do have and where. All right, finally, the youngest person is made the first player, or you can just choose someone randomly. And that's the setup. In Gut 5, you and the other players will take turns revealing new tiles from the supply and asking for clues as you try to figure out the values on your own tiles which you cannot see. Be the first person to correctly guess all 5 values on your tiles, and you win. The game is played over a series of turns, starting with the first player and then going clockwise around and around the table. And on your turn, you'll first reveal a tile. Here, the current player flips any one face-down tile from the supply face-up and announces its number out loud, putting it with the other 5 tiles that were set face-up nearby. All players, including the current one, now cross that value off on their player boards. Next, the current player picks any one of the 6 face-up tiles to use in a clue. I'll pick this one. You'll now use your tile to ask for one of 2 possible different types of clues. So let's learn about the first type of clue called Categorize. Here, any player next to you puts your selected tile face up into the slot between the standing tiles in your stand where this tile would go if it was placed correctly between them in ascending order. They do not say anything about the tiles in your stand, but this will give you a clue about all the tiles in your stand on either side of it. For example, you would now be able to deduce that the blue tile must be a value greater than 31, and the same would be true for this tile and the one here. Likewise, these 2 tiles must be a value less than 31. We could then go to our player board and mark off any values that we know are not possible for our tiles. Remember, we learned that blue must be greater than 31. So we can cross off any blue values that are less than 31, which would be every one of these values. We would then do that for all the other related values for the other colors, so it would look something like this when we're done. Imagine it was one of your later turns and you asked to categorize this tile. Your opponent would place it here. Now you know that this tile is a value between 31 and 35. I should also point out, if you ask to categorize a tile on a later turn that goes into a slot that already has tiles, do not change their position, just put the new tile below any that are already there. So that's a categorize clue. But after picking a tile from the ones face up on the table, you may instead ask for a compare clue. In that case, you put your chosen tile above any one of the 5 upright tiles in your stand, and their colors do not have to match. You then ask a player next to you if these stacked tiles have the same number of dots. All the tiles in the game will have either 1, 2, or 3 dots, and in this case, the opponent would say yes. The player who asked for the clue then puts the tile face up behind their stand beside the tile they compared it to. On the other hand, if you had asked for a compare clue and you were told no, you would put the tile sideways beside the one it was compared to. Sideways means the dots did not match. Straight up means that they did. And you can use this information to mark off more numbers on your board. For example, this sideways clue means that our blue tile cannot have 2 dots. I would then use that new information to mark off every blue number with 2 dots. Also, ensure every compare clue you receive is visible to everyone for the rest of the game. That said, no matter which type of clue you ask for on your turn, after, your turn ends and the next player in clockwise order takes their turn, revealing a tile from the supply and asking for a clue. Okay, we've already seen some examples of how you can use your board to mark numbers and make deductions. And you can make any kinds of notes on here that you like, but of course, don't let anyone else see it. As the game goes on, if you are confident you know what number is on a tile in your stand, then fill that value into the related white box here at the top. The arrow going through these will help ensure you fill the boxes in the order matching their positions on your stand. If you ever think you've made a mistake with your markings on your board, don't worry. You can erase everything and quickly examine all the visible tiles to mark the boxes that you need to and get back to where you should be. And eventually, if you believe you've identified the values of all 5 tiles in your stand, you may announce your guess of them at any time, even during another player's turn. Just shout, "Got 5." Then, one by one, you announce the numbers you believe are on your tiles in ascending order. Do not look at them, just say what you believe each of them are. Your opponents will then confirm if you said them correctly. If so, you immediately win. If not, you're out of the game. The other players will continue taking turns skipping over you as they race to correctly guess their own tiles. So you only get one guess. That means you'll want to make it a good one. Now, if there's only one player left to take turns because every other player has guessed incorrectly, that remaining player automatically wins. Also, when playing, you can refer to this diagram on the inside of your screen as a reminder of what to do on your turn. First, reveal a tile and add it to the 5 face-up ones by the supply. Then either ask for a categorize or comparison clue. And that's everything you need to know to play Gut 5. If you have any questions about anything you saw here, feel free to put them in the comments below and I'll gladly answer them as soon as I get a chance. You'll also find forums for discussion, pictures, other videos, and lots more over on the games page at Board Game Geek, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a like, subscribing, and clicking that little bell icon so you get notification anytime we post a new video. And if you'd like to support me directly, you can join the Patreon team, which I'll have linked below. But until next time, thanks for watching.